Well, hi. It's been a while since I put a video out on this channel. Did nothing over winter. Didn't do anything last year. Things just, I don't know, one of them things, innit? But I've got another little project on now. I pulled the stereo out. Oh, what pitiful excuse it was for a stereo. I've always wanted to put in one of them super duper posh double din 10-inch screened Android things that cost a small fortune, and to be honest don't do as much as some at half the price. You're paying for the convenience, and I tend not to do that, as you might have guessed. And so I thought, what would be better than an Android Edge unit would be an Android tablet. It's more updatable, it'll run more pieces of software, it's just better. What it won't do is interface with OBD2 and show all your dials and gauges that are already on my dash, because these are the only dials and gauges that this engine management supports. It doesn't even do OBD2. It's got an OBD2 connector, but it doesn't speak OBD2. It speaks some weird van version of it, which means your speed is never what your speed is. Your RPM is only a quarter of what it should be. It just doesn't match. So yeah, it's time to make a change. I've got an old tablet. I've just bought a new one, then decided to use the old one after all, because that's me. So this is the back off the old tablet, and yes, I've been painting with a can of spray. This is the back off the old tablet, and it's about the same size as the gap in the dash. So it would sit there and it would be usable. But the thing is, when I'm in satnav mode, I prefer portrait. See what I mean? And the reason I prefer portrait is you're in the centre, you've only got that much distance when it's the other way, but this way you've got all that distance, you can see further ahead. So for me, portrait mode on a satnav is just logical, and everybody else is wrong. Garmin, TomTom, all them that make landscape satnavs, they're wrong. I don't care who they are. It's just not me. I want it that way. I want it that way. So I'll have to fill in a bit of gap at the edge. Not only do I want it that way, I want it to sit in there, and I want it motorised. I want it to come out and tilt, and then tilt and go back in. And I'm useless at that kind of mechanics. So I've been sat here thinking, and I've come up with an idea. So this will only be part one, because I've only got an hour to mess about today, and I'm already a good 30 minutes into it. I'm not going to get much done. This is part one, the design phase. And I've been sat here thinking, how can I make that come out but keep the mechanism on the inside? I don't want a visible mechanism. And I think I've come up with an idea, and I should have come up with an idea to hold this phone so that I could demonstrate it better. But obviously we've got to have a pushy pulley kind of drive system. So I'm thinking a motor and a threaded screw, which we can put a couple of nuts on with a bracket on, so that that goes in and out. We can then add a couple of switches or buttons to stop it trying to go through a windscreen or impale someone in guts on this side, so it will stop. Then we need to attach that to the back of this, but when we attach it, it's got to have a swivel. Now if the motor can only come as far forward as here, and that means wherever it's mounted on the back of this, it can only come that far forward, and then it's not really going to tilt down. So I think whatever is on there is going to need a set of arms that come further out, kind of V-shaped arms or a U-shaped arm which attaches to the back of this at each side from the top in height about where the Velcro is. So the tilt point will be about here, so the arms can push it out off the screwy bit. The arms will come further forward than this edge, so that means when it does, it'll fall and go down to there, and then I get a better angle. I know it's in front of my heater switches, but how often do you use them? You only use two positions in Yorkshire. It's either on hot for 360 days a year, or for 1 week is on medium. You know, we don't get much sun, so yeah, it'll be able to tilt on that arm, and when it pulls it back in, it'll be caught against here, which will tilt it and cause it to tilt and drag itself in. Now it's only going to go into about there because of the arms will be here, even though the screwy mechanism will go all the way back to here. There's that distance of the arm so that the screwy bit doesn't have to come so far out, so that gives it an offset. Big word for today, offset. So yeah, I think I've sussed it. I've been sat here half an hour, but I think I've sussed it, how it's going to get screwed out and fall and dragged back in, and then I can cut a piece to fit in here and cover it all and smooth out the dash again, so it'll be covered when it's not in use. We'll wire it to a small amplifier which we can cobble into the speaker connectors here. We can get power from here, and we've got ignition power from there, so when I turn my ignition on, it fires up this little motor to run the screwy thing to bring it out. I think I've got it sussed. Well, that video stopped a bit quick then, but my phone went off, so yeah, I'm back. Yeah, the other thought I did have was maybe to hinge this here and just tilt that way, but then I'm getting quite a bit of height on it now from my, you know, it's not affecting visibility. There's the wipers and the bottom of the windscreen, and from where I am, that's not so bad. It's not going to do much, and if I need to see over, you know, I can do that. But the issue with it here is if sunlight's coming in through this window, it can hit this and bounce off, and then I've got, you know, it dazzling and I can't see the screen, and you know, I won't want it to spoil my view of Wendy James or anything like that, so we've got to keep that further down, and a pivot here in the middle might work, but I don't know. I think my original idea is better. If there's anything you can add to this, like don't be an idiot, or it's better if you do it this way, or it's never going to work, feel free to comment that down below in that commenty bit. I don't kind of care, but I'm going to do this. Might take me 5 years, or it might even be in another van by the time I finish it, but I'm definitely going to make a start. Part 2's coming sooner than what this video did. So bye for now.